A narcissist wants you to believe that they cannot be affected by anything, that they are immune and unsusceptible to the flaws that you have and the people around them have. But the truth is entirely different and opposite to what they think their reality is. There are things that can shock them to their core and devastatingly impact them. And that is what we are going to talk about today in this episode. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, and today's video is going to be all about 7 things that shock a narcissist to their core. Before we get started, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel by pressing the subscribe button and push that bell icon to stay updated with every latest episode that I post here. Also, if you're listening to this episode on a podcast channel, make sure to follow and subscribe as well. Let's get started. Number 1, when you do not chase the narcissist to stay in the relationship. Narcissists think that they are super charming, that they can get anyone they lay their eyes on, that they can have any person in the life they choose to be with because everyone is into them. They see people, objects collectively, and they assume that everyone wants to be with them. So when you stop chasing them, their delusion gets challenged, and that makes them question their worth. That brings those insecurities to the surface. And guess what? When these insecurities start coming to the surface, they hate you because they don't want to face these insecurities. So they would rage. They would try to either win you back through hoovering, or if that fails, then rage at you because you made them feel the insecurities that are already within them. So ignorance is death to a narcissist. It makes them wonder, how could you not be into them when everyone wants to be with them? It is the ultimate injury to their false self. Number 2, when you take a narcissist by surprise. Narcissists like predictability because predictability makes it easy for them to control you. That's why they're so calculated, and that's why they know if they say something specific and particular, it's going to elicit a specific and interconnected associated reaction from you. So they know how to make you feel angry, they know how to make you feel sad, which is why they know what you are going to do if they are going to act a certain way. But if you take them by a surprise, if you do something at the last moment and they can't really read you, they can't really guess you, it shocks them. Because when things happen in the moment, when you do something that they are not prepared for, they are at a risk of being exposed. A narcissist doesn't want to be exposed. And at the last moment, if you present an argument, or if you hold your cool, if you do not react, that debilitates the narcissist because they do not have the tools to deal with. And that is when the narcissist is shook to their core because they do not know how to deal with the situation. Since there is no predictability, there is no control. Number 3, when you discard and the tables get flipped on them, they lose their mind. The narcissist doesn't want to be ignored, doesn't like to be discarded. They have to be the ones to throw you away as an object. But if you are the one who discarded the narcissist, congratulations. You gave the narcissist their biggest punishment and injury. A narcissist cannot accept the fact that they were taken for granted, that their existence was so small, it mattered so less to you that you just left them. It makes them really again question their worth, their omnipotence, because they like to believe that they are all powerful, they are impenetrable, they are immune, but your act of leaving them is what sets them off, and that is why they try to hoover you. Not because they want to change or want to win your love back, they want to win their supply back. They want to satisfy themselves that they are not as weak as your leaving made them feel. Which is why if you have already left the narcissist and they are hoovering you, do not give them any chance. Do not make the mistake, because you have done the right thing. And if they are promising things, if you're seeing the change in them that you always wanted to see, it is a confirmation that they are trying to please you just to win you back. They have been seriously and devastatingly injured in their ego. So keep moving on and don't look back. Number 4, self-righteousness and rigidity. These are the two traits very common in the narcissist's personality. They want to believe, rather they believe that they're always right, that everyone else around them has got it wrong and they are the only one who knows the truth. But as you and me both know that that is completely flawed and skewed. It's not possible. They cannot know all of it. Of course, and in fact, none of us knows all of it. There is always room for learning. So they don't think that way. They think that they are all perfect. They don't have anything to learn. They don't have anything to take in, and they know the subject without truly knowing it, or they pretend to know it. But when they are proven wrong by someone, for example, in a court case, they have their arguments that make sense on the surface level, but when you dig in and you have your counter arguments ready and they're quite solid and they clearly expose them and prove them wrong, they are shaken in their core. They're shook because they can't accept that they have been defeated, that anyone else, especially you, because you were the primary victim, knows better than them. And that is what gives them a major injury. That is what shocks them. They can't accept that they were defeated by a stupid, naive person like you. Because they think that their intellect is godlike, that their knowledge is superior, and they are morally and in other ways superior than everyone else. It is almost like it puts them in a state of denial and crisis because they can't accept defeat. Winning is what they have to do. Defeat is not a word in their vocabulary. Before we move to the number 5, I am curious to know if there was anything that you did which shocked the narcissist deeply. Drop your experiences in the comments below and share them with other survivors who could possibly get their experiences validated. Number 5. When you do not feed them anything, any emotion, and when you become very bland in confrontation and conversations. A narcissist survives and thrives on supply. We know that by now. The supply can be positive or negative. They have to get it. It could be your positive attention, your admiration, adulation, or it could be your anger. It could be your sadness. It could be your resentment. Anything is what they depend on. Because when they get an emotional reaction from you, they feel in control. And when they feel in control, they feel better about themselves. It's a very parasitic way of living. They depend on you more than how much you depend on them. So when you do not give them any reaction, when you do not give them any emotional fuel, when you become as boring as a grey rock, in fact, if you do the grey rocking thing, the technique, if you apply it, they get triggered, it shocks them to their core, and some of them react and try to push you harder to get something from you, and others leave you alone because it becomes boring for them. There is no excitement, there is no emotional intensity, there is no chaos. There is no high they could achieve from abusing you. So the more boring you are, the more they are repelled by you or triggered by you because they can't stand being ignored that way. It's again a form of powerlessness that they deeply feel and is triggered by your unemotional responses. Number 6, when you start living your best life and you start thriving without them. A narcissist wants you to be dependent on them all the time. They believe and want you to believe that you are nothing without them. They want you to stay in the dungeons of control and darkness forever. They want you to be and feel broken forever. They can't see you emerge from your ashes like a phoenix. They can't see you rising. But when you do all of that, when you heal after narcissistic abuse, when you rise from your ashes like a phoenix, when you embrace yourself, your experiences, when you accept yourself as a human being, when you release that self-doubt that they have put in you, when you let go of the negative beliefs, the negative feelings that they installed in your psyche, you become a symbol of freedom. And that means you become a kryptonite for a narcissist. A narcissist can't see you shining. That dims them. That basically repels their darkness away. So when they see you shining, when they see you emerging, when they see you healing, when they see you becoming your greatest version possible after narcissistic abuse, it is one of the biggest defeats for the narcissist. It again makes them question all of the assumed things and qualities they believe about themselves. Things like omnipotence, things like being all powerful, knowing it all, and stuff like that. That is put to question in combination because you have proven them wrong and they can't stand it. Number 7 and the final one, when you show kindness, when you display a quality, a personality trait that they do not have themselves. A narcissist wants you to just be as dark as themselves because they have been through a lot of trauma, but they made choices that made them the person they are right now, that reinforced their personality traits, and that is what created the ego structure they have in present. So they want to see you experiencing the same devastation. They want to break you and want you to stay like that. But even after this much abuse, if you are still capable of showing compassion, offering love, being kind to others, they are shaken and they are deeply shocked. Since they can't experience it themselves, it makes them again question their own capability. It makes them feel smaller than you. It makes them wonder what choices they have made throughout their life. Of course, they wouldn't choose to be kind after seeing you being kind to others, but it's just an example. It makes them really feel deeply shocked since you were not broken by their abuse, since you chose to be the kind, empathetic person and loving towards others even after going through so much. So these were the 7 things that shock a narcissist to their core. I hope you found this episode helpful. Drop your experiences and feedback in the comments below, and I'll talk with you very soon. Till then, let the healing begin.